You're gonna post questions there. Is there a way I can see them?
Yeah, there's in the chat box. People can post questions in there, and I'm watching Facebook too in case people post in the event.
All right, great. Great, sounds good.
All right.
Guys,
Whenever you're ready.
Welcome to the Q&A for the 5-bar showdown. We are excited about this weekend. We've got just under 170 lifters, so there's going to be some good competition all across the board. Every weight class is close, and we're going to be able to give away over $12,000 in cash and prizes. So it's going to be a great weekend. We want to make sure that this is the best experience for you guys. We want to answer any questions that you have. So if you do have questions, there's a chat box right here on the GoToMeeting. You can also post them in the 5-Bar Showdown Facebook group. There's a thread running about the GoToMeeting that is going on right now, the Q&A. You can post a question in that chat right there, and we will answer it live as we go. So we want to make sure this is a good experience for you and answer all your questions. But starting us off, we'll just give a quick rundown of overview of rules. We'll start with weightlifting. Since the order of the 5-bar will be weightlifting and then powerlifting, so you'll snatch and clean and jerk in the morning, squat, bench, and deadlift in the afternoon. As far as technical rules go for infractions on the snatch, the bar has to start from the floor and has to move in one steady motion to overhead. You do not have to do a full squat. It does not have to be below parallel, but the only thing that touches the platform is your feet. So if your butt touches the platform, your knees touch the platform, anything like that, it will be a no lift. Okay? And the other thing is when you catch the bar, your arms have to go straight to lockout. Both arms have to be locked, and they have to remain locked. So you can't lock one out, have it bend a little bit, press it back out. That will also be a no lift. Once you complete the lift, whether you squat or don't squat all the way down, stand up, make sure your feet are in the same line. You can't have them staggered. You don't have to be facing the head judge, but your feet do need to be in the same plane. Once you reach that point, hold the bar. The head referee will give you the down signal, and you can drop the bar. You do not have to set the bar down on the platform, but you are not allowed to slam it or anything like that. So from overhead, you just drop the bar, and then your lift will be complete. On the clean and jerk, quick overview. On the clean, same thing. The bar has to move from the ground to the shoulders in one steady motion. You can't catch it down low on your biceps and roll it up your arms. That would be a no lift. The same thing as a snatch. You do not have to do a full squat. You do not have to be below parallel, but you do have to catch the bar on your shoulders. Once you stand up, then you will start the jerk. Once you jerk, the bar goes from the shoulders to overhead in one motion. Whether you choose to power jerk, split jerk, squat jerk, however you want to do it, the bar has to go to overhead in one motion. And just like the stats, the arms have to stay locked. You can't bend your elbows and lock back out. And then the same thing, feet back in the same plane. Show control. Head referee will give you the down signal, and then the lift is complete. The other thing to look for on the clean is your elbows cannot touch your knees. On the clean. So if your elbows do touch your knees in the bottom of the clean, that will be a no lift. So that's a quick general overview of the technical rules on the snatch. Josh will give us the same thing on the powerlifting, on the squat, bench, and deadlift.
Okay, so on the squat, you're getting 2 commands from the referees. The commands will be squat and rack. So you'll unrack the bar on your own. Once you're standing erect and everything's locked out, the chief referee will say squat. You go down on your own until the crease of the top of your hip is below the top of your knee, and then come back up on your own, and then wait until they say rack. Then you walk it into the rack. For the bench press, basically there's 3 commands: start, press, and rack. So you unrack the bar and hold it until they say start, then lower it and pause on your chest until they say press, and go back up and hold it locked out until they say rack. What they're looking for in the pause is not for the bar to be touching your chest, but for it to be motionless on your chest. So a lot of people get long press calls if the bar is touching but still moving, so make sure you're aware of that. Deadlift, basically pick it up, stand erect, and the referee will say down. When you set it down, make sure you keep your hands on the bar, because if you just drop it, it won't count. That's the powerlifting rules in a nutshell. There's a couple of videos we went into a little bit more depth. If you go to the 5-Bar website, there's a playlist, and this video will be added to it. But a couple other questions that were asked on Facebook. One of them was the live stream. If you go back to the 5-Bar website, which I think you guys can see right now, there is now a link on the 5-Bar website that says Watch Live. If you click that, it has each of the different streams right here. So there's 5 different streams, and they're all labeled accordingly based on what they're for. Let's see. Another question was, how do you change your weight class? At this point, at least on my end with the powerlifting, we're not going to take any more weight class changes ahead of time, but we will make the changes after you weigh in if you end up being in a different weight class. We will have chalk, so you don't have to bring your own chalk. You might want to bring, if you're used to having your own when you're warming up, that's fine. You can bring it if you want to, but we'll have some in the back for you to use. One thing I do want to mention, some of the power lifters at least, were asking about early equipment check. Friday, which is tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., we will be doing early equipment check. It's optional. I do encourage people to do that if they're available. Basically, this just gets some of the stuff out of the way for the next day. So, get all the equipment that you're going to wear on the platform inspected, get your rack heights and your settings and everything done ahead of time. So when you show up on meet day, you just have to weigh in and go from there. Those of you that ordered pre-sale T-shirts, how you're going to get those? If you are competing in the weightlifting or the Superman, Superwoman, you're going to pick those up when you check in for the weightlifting portion. If you're just doing the powerlifting, you'll pick those up when you check in for the powerlifting. So that'll be basically during your weigh-in time. Let's see, was there any other? I think that would, food. There's a couple questions on food. The high school will be running their full concessions like they do during their basketball games and things like that, so there should be pretty good food. General admission is $5 a person for anybody that is not competing, so that includes coaches as well. So the only way to get in free is to be competing or to be working the event. Does anybody have any questions? That's all I can think of right now.
Couple things that I ran into, people asking questions over the last few days. Reminder that you do weigh in twice. If you're doing the Superman or Superwoman, you will weigh in the morning for the weightlifting portion. You will weigh in the afternoon for the powerlifting portion. The schedule is online where Josh is showing you right now. But you will be weighing in 2 times. Good question here from Christina. Josh, if you're competing, do you pay admission on the days that you're not lifting, or are you good for the whole weekend if you're competing?
No, you're good for the whole weekend. So everybody that's lifting is going to be on the list. So when you check in, you're going to get a wristband that will get you in for both days. Great. So you'll need, I guess that is the caveat. If you check in on Saturday, get your wristband and throw it away, then you're going to have to pay to get back in. So don't throw your wristband out. But you're good. You're good for the whole weekend. On the roster, I went ahead and broke everything down. So like if you're competing in the Superman, for example, it has your weigh-in time for weightlifting and your weigh-in time for powerlifting. So everything's kind of broken down accordingly. Tells you what platform you're on. Oh, this is a question that's come up. Platform 1 is going to be the weightlifting, and platform 2 and 3 will be the powerlifting. So when it says your platform assignment here, that's what that refers to. So during the Superman portion, we're only going to do one platform of powerlifting. So all the powerlifting part will be on platform 2, all the weightlifting on platform 1.
Hi, Josh. Another question that I had the other day from some people doing the Superman and Superwoman. When it has the platform and the flight, like if you're at flight D and E on the same platform, flight D will squat, flight E will squat, flight D will bench, flight E will bench. Will that be the format?
Correct, yes.
Good. Yeah, we had a couple people asking that, so perfect. Thank you.
Yep. I mean, that's pretty much it. We figured we would do this just to answer any questions. So if anybody has any questions, please either type them or shout out what you want to know. If there's nothing else, we'll probably wrap it up here.
Right. And while you're at the competition, guys, the hashtag 5-Bar Showdown is what we'll be using, so we can highlight your lifts and your training videos and all that kind of stuff. There's already like 400 posts on Instagram with the 5-Bar Showdown, and there's going to be a lot more this weekend. So make sure you're using that hashtag so we can highlight and showcase all your hard work and your big-time lifts.
Yeah. And if you need to go back and watch any of these videos, if you go to the website and scroll down, we have the playlist of all the videos that Caleb and I have done, so you can go through and watch them all if you missed anything. And this one that's showing right now is basically directions of where to go to get to the actual gym in the high school. So if there's no other questions, I guess we'll call it a day, and we'll see you guys this weekend.
Yep, sounds good. We'll see you at the meet.
All right, have a good one, guys.
See ya.
All right, bye.